So today, I'd like to talk about sensitivity. Well, sensitive, a simple word that has simple meaning, excessive reaction to external things. But why this little simple word is a big issue to a huge number of people, and how can we solve this big issue? So that's what we're going to talk about today. Well, sensitiveness is like a different kind of disease to me, because I'm a sensitive person that has suffered a lot from it. It's different from the normal illness because it can benefit my life a little bit. I can capture the details from life more easily than others and can do things carefully. Think twice before making any actions. And one of the most valuable parts of being sensitive, I say, is the capability of understanding. Sensitive people are more likely to be a good listener than speakers, since they can notice every kind of the movements around them. They can understand others better, but also, I'm very sympathetic to all the sensitive people because it can bring much more negative influences than positive. They care about what others think of them too much, and it's like they're not living for themselves, instead they're living for others. But I was not a sensitive person when I was young. I was strong, happy, and fearless. But what really caused me to be a sensitive person, it was a long story. And I have searched on the internet why people can be sensitive, and there are two main reasons. The first one is because of the experience in the person's childhood. They grew up without the warmth of their parents, and they need to observe the mood of their parents in case they'll get mad of them. And the second reason is that you're really unconfident about something, that you may pay a huge attention on it. And I had been through a bullying when I was young. Well, not exactly a bully, but it really changed me a lot. Well, I was very fat in junior high school, with a height of 165 centimeters and 82 kilograms. And my classmates were always making fun of me, but I didn't care at that time. I just thought it was joking and it's really not a big deal. But later on, they became more and more excessive. They said it must be charming if I wear a bikini. You can't imagine that seeing a fat girl wearing a hot and sexy bikini. But it is ridiculous, I admit it. But of course, I didn't wear it. But I didn't know why they just started to talk about that. Then one day on English class, our teacher used the word beginning. And all my classmates were laughing, and they laughed so loudly that they didn't realize that I was crying. And from then on, I started to care about my appearance. And 2 months later, I lost 30 pounds, and that's sort of a success to me. But the worst thing is, I started to care about my appearance and how others think of me. Until now, I know that sensitivity is my weakness. I need to conquer it. But it's not that easy to change one's mind over a short period of time. A sensitive people is very good at observing the change of emotional states of others. They may often notice what others cannot pay attention to. And I've also noticed that depression is very common among sensitive people, since they really care about what others think of them. And they might even hide their true emotions to them, because in order to satisfy everyone's need. And also, sensitive people are more likely to be lonely inside their hearts, and they want someone to understand them. But no matter what leads you to be a sensitive person is leading to one final question: how to solve this problem? And this also tells us another feature of sensitive people, that among all the information in there, the negative contents are more likely to attract their attention. So they want to get rid of it desperately. So here are the ways. First of all, try to consider the bad situation. Consider the worst situation is sort of a self-protection, but as the time gets longer and longer, it may distort your perception. The negative content we feel is not the fault of sensitivity. Actually, the thing that limits us is the cognitions we have. So we need to gain more knowledge, read more books, exercise more, make our heart become stronger. And the second solution is to fill up your schedule, which is the easiest way in my mind. If a person is focusing on what he's doing right now, you don't have the rest of the time to think about how others think of him. And for example, me. I'm in Qingdao Foreign Language School International Center, and the AP classes are one of the most important things to me, and also to my grade point average. So every time I'm having these classes, I don't have the rest of the time to think about how others think of me, and all my attention is focusing on what the teacher said, telling to me. And I think these solutions are more likely to connect with self-control. If you can control yourself to 100% focusing on what you're doing right now, you can easily get rid of sensitivity. But all in all, sensitivity gives us a chance to observe the beauty of life and humans. So as long as we can raise strength and avoid weaknesses, we can have a better life. So that's all.